Hi, my name is Leah Day, and welcome to this video for the Building Blocks Quilt Along. Today, Josh is stitching circles in a spinning square block. So let's get on the machine and see how this works in free motion. So you've knocked out quite a few circles in this block already. Any tips?
I have, yes. A lot of these circles, actually each row of circles, really goes down to the 1/8 inch scale.
Like really tiny.
Yes, and I'm not a fan of that, so I stayed away from the really tiny ones. I just left them.
Okay, so that's maybe our first tip is don't stitch all of the circles. If they get too tiny, you can just simply skip those.
Exactly.
And then right now it looks like you're doing kind of a figure 8 pattern.
Yes, and I found that's the best way for me to do circles, is do them in figure 8s. And then come down here.
So you're doing the entire row, kind of hitting half of the circle as you go, and then you're going to swing back around and do the other half.
Yes.
Oh, very interesting. It looks like circles are still a little bit of a struggle. Do you wish that you'd practice more, or is it just simply that the shape is just a little challenging?
Oh, it's extremely challenging. I do not like circles. I dread them. In fact, I hate them.
Tell it like it is, maybe.
But yeah, I do need to practice them. So what I should do is just get some scrap fabric and just do a bunch of circles just to get used to the motions.
Excellent. So now you're just traveling on down and knocking out some more.
This central one. And everything else that I've already done, it's all very basic. I've gone over these lines in numerous past videos.
Oh, all the stitching in the ditch.
Yes.
Yeah. One thing that's definitely easier, you remove the knee lifter on this machine.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that a little bit later. I didn't realize you could do that, and the thing always has been bumping into my knee. And just removing it, imagine you're driving a car, and right next to the gear shift, you have this giant rod sticking out in your, right into your waist.
So yeah,
so I removed it.
Got it out. Perfect. Well, it's definitely good to see, that these circles, they're not looking perfect, and that's not really the point. But every time that you stitch them again, every time that you make this movement, you're getting better at it. I think at this point, just simply traveling down, that way we could knock out that very last set.
And I'll start my circles right here.
Another way that I've seen quilters teach circles is to do half, which is basically kind of a half circle shape coming up into the middle through one entire row, and then doing the same thing on the opposite side and match them together to make the circle shape. Personally, I've always found that challenging to actually make a nice circle shape. And also the figure 8s, I found that challenging too. But it's really good to see, just what works for you. What makes the most sense in your brain and for your practice.
Well, that was circles in a spinning square. And the first thing I want to talk about is this right here.
The knee lifter.
This is a knee lifter, as you know. And I didn't realize, as I'm a beginner, that it can be pulled out. And all you got to do is pull it out.
I didn't tell Josh that he could remove it. It just got in his way all the time.
Yeah, and I never used it, and my knee was always hitting it, and it really messed up a lot of stitching. So, good riddance to this thing.
But as far as the block went, it wasn't your favorite.
No, actually, this one has probably been my least favorite so far. There's just a lot of circles, a lot of small circles. I didn't like the flow of everything, and I'm just glad I'm done with it.
Well, not every block is going to be your favorite, but circles are one of those things that's good to practice, and eventually you will find one day soon you'll sit down to stitch them and they'll be easy. I can't promise when that will happen. It might be in a month, it might be in a year, but it does happen. I know it happened to me when I first started quilting. I hated them too. But just give it some more practice, keep trying that design, and it will come eventually. And of course, just general tip, if there's something frustrating you on your machine, change it, take it off, fiddle with it. You know, break your foot, whatever you got to do in order to make this work for you. That's the key. So my name is Leah Day, and this has been a video for the Building Blocks Quilt-Along. Josh has been stitching out a cheater cloth panel for this quilt-along. You can pick up the cheater cloth at spoonflower.com, so you don't have to piece and cut and piece all of your blocks. You can just simply layer them, base them, and start quilting. So find that at Spoonflower, and until next time,
Let's go quilt.